Aloha and welcome to Mana Inspiration with yours truly, Note Endurance. And like always, we're going to have our scripture, and the scripture we have today is going to be in Proverbs 29:18. And this is in the King James Version, which it states, "Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he." I know the second part um, kind of doesn't make sense as I know it's in the Old Testament talk, but it reminds me of this saying that I heard, and it's if we're not growing, we are dying. And I think that's on the uphill slope and the downhill slope. If we start going up and we're climbing and we have a vision, we're going to keep going until we reach that vision that we want. As soon as we stop, that's as soon as we start sliding back. Now, it also reminds me of the quote from Tony Robbins, which says, "If you keep a clear vision for your future, it will pull you like a magnet through your toughest times." And I think that's true because it also lies in with that statement, if you know your why, the how will come after. But you got to have that anchor on the why, your vision of what you want. Have those blinders, just like in horse racing. And every time I think of vision, it reminds me of Arnold Schwarzenegger when he always would state on any pumping iron, anything, you got to have a vision. Now, his quote says, "Vision creates faith, and faith creates willpower. With faith, there is no anxiety, no doubt, just absolute confidence in yourself." And that's 100% right. So, if we're diving in to what this is, what is vision? And I have the definition of vision. It says the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. So it's stating that it's coming from imagination and wisdom. And that's how I think if where that vision comes from is your imagination. Albert Einstein says this: imagination is the preview to life's coming attraction. Now, if vision comes from imagination, how do we imagine or how do we create or use our imagination? And I think this is where we need to kind of go back to our childhood. I was told this once, and it helped me actually start creating what I wanted to think and imagine. Somebody told me once, and it's also I heard from Tony Robbins, is what did you want to do when you were growing up? Me myself, I wanted to be a sports announcer. I wanted to be that voice, hence of these videos. I want to be an archaeologist and discover new things. And I think this also ties into what I'm trying to evolve into from my vision. And I think that also goes into Man Searches for Meaning, Dr. Viktor Frankl, with his logotherapy. And it's the vision and your reality. When you have equal vision of your reality and they equal, that's when you create happiness. It's when you have that disconnection of, I kind of envision it to be this way, but reality, it turned out to be this way. There's a disconnection. So, this is where we need to go back into, maybe we need to dive deep into our childhood. Some of us had good childhood, some of us had bad childhood, some of us had okay childhood, but we all had an imagination. I think that also stems into back when you're playing with toys. If you remember the old yellow dump trucks, everybody would imagine they were a construction worker. That's Ninja Turtles, wrestling, anything with the action figures. You imagine, you use your imagination for this. So, if we have a hard time creating the imagination again, what is three things that could help our vision? And I got three things. And I challenge you to attempt these three things. And what I mean, number one is discover. Look back. into your childhood. Look back into what you wanted to be when you were growing up. Is it correlating to what you're doing now? If it's not, we're having a disconnection. Now, two, visualize yourself in there. Just like Arnold, have that vision. Now, with that vision, you got to visualize yourself in it. And if you don't, you won't feel that you belong there. And I think if you envision you belong there, once you get into there, you already know your confidence. You have that complete confidence in yourself. Number three, never stop giving up or believing on your dreams, your vision. There's a reason you were given a vision, and it's because God only gave it to you. Have you ever tried to explain your vision to somebody else? Maybe that wasn't on the same thought process as you? They didn't really respond the way you hoped, right? And it's because they weren't given the vision from God. Only you was. When you were given the vision, that's for you to correlate and to push out to show people what you were supposed to do, what your gift, like we just did a couple videos ago. Now, again, I challenge you. Three things to help your vision. Dig back into that imagination of yours. Discover what is it that you love to do? Visualize yourself into that. Once you're into there, you belong there. Number three, never give up on believing in those dreams, no matter how old you are. Colonel Sanders didn't make it till 65. So if you're 25, 30, 36 like me, and you think maybe my dreams are not there, think about it. Colonel Sanders has another 30 years until he became successful. So will you fight? Will you have that vision? Will you fight for your family? That way you can create that lifestyle that you want, that imagination of you having that blissful satisfaction with where you're at and how you keep growing. On that note, I do challenge you guys. Come up with your imagination and your vision. Like it says, where there's no vision, people will perish. Are you going to be a part of that people that's perishing and going? Or are you going to be a part of that vision that happy is he? I challenge you again. Go in, discover your vision, discover what's your imagination to help you. I want to thank you for tuning in. I bless everybody, and I want to just I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude on a lot of people that support this, and we do it for you and me. And a lot of times I just speak to myself, and I try to share to encourage, because these are things I go through. These are things that I want to do. These are things that I know if we talk, we probably have similar views, similar visions. Let's capitalize together. Aloha, guys. You have a blessed week. Salute to all the soldiers, and tune in next week. I love you. Have a blessed week, guys. Thanks.